Greetings, sir and sirettes, and welcome to Plague Inc. Evolved with me, Lathrix. This is the newest evolution of Plague Inc. As you can tell by the name, it's by the same creators of the original Plague Inc., which is of course the Endemic Creations. I'll give you a link in the description below to the Steam page. This is available on PC properly without the use of an emulator, which is just so nice for me. So, gone are the days of emulating and little weird bugs, and new are the days of good stuff and things. Welcome, sir and sirettes. Since it's a new game, I have pretty much everything locked, so of course we'll be going along trying to do everything in Brutal. I have already completed Bacteria in Brutal, so I will either be doing Bacteria or Parasite today. I'm thinking, let's go with Parasite, let's be a worm. As you can see, it's all nicely done up, it's all pretty. A lot more so than the old game, and as you can see, a lot of my genes have also not been unlocked yet, due to the fact I've only just started this new game, which is okay. I've played about 4 or 5 matches of it, and what I can tell, it's pretty much the old game, but spruced up very nicely. We're doing it in Brutal, and we'll be calling it Lathrixia. Lathrixia Reborn, sir and sirettes, as you can probably tell by the name of this game, the name of this video, starting in India. One of the great new things I've seen is that there is a super fast forward option here now rather than just a normal fast forward, which is just brilliant. As you can see, it's pretty much the same style as the old game, but a higher definition version. Everything's been done nicely. As you can see, there's like a little city image here, which will actually get more infected as you go. Festival of Love is already in place. Okay, what we'll be doing is, we'll be doing Symbiosis level 1, and we'll be going straight into Sneezing. So for those who haven't watched a lot of Plague Inc. things before, Symbiosis is a ability of the parasite. It's unique to the parasite to hide it within the cell of the infected. So it thus reduces the severity of the disease, and thus causes it to be a lot harder to spot, which means my victims are now sneezing but have 0 severity. I'll actually be going down this route as well afterwards to try and get lesions, but for now, that's all we need. Level 2 Symbiosis isn't really needed. We'll be getting into water next, so we can get into boats. Water and air. So currently we're spreading just via sneezing, which is great. Okay, we're going to go into water. What's that? Yes or no? I can't actually turn off the tips, which is a little bit annoying, I've got to say. It's the one thing which is annoying me about the new game. There's no way to turn off tips and extra pop-ups, so I have to click off constantly, which has actually caused me to lose a game earlier on today, because I was clicking off so often, I didn't realise that I had evolved something particularly nasty. So water level 2, and then we'll be being quite conservative, as the one problem with the parasite is the lack of DNA you get. As a virus or a bacteria, you get a lot more DNA in the long run. As a parasite, you get very little. So being quite conservative and slow is just one of the things you have to do. Although I do have 0 severity, there is an actual chance that we will be discovered, even though we have 0 severity. It's just how the game works. Because they can't figure out it's us, but they can figure out that something's going horribly wrong with a lot of people. Of course, they'll blame the common cold for a while, but... Okay, we're in England, so we'll be getting cold resistance level 1 now. Oh god, we're spreading very quickly, actually. A lot faster than I expected in Brutal. So cold level 1 and cold level 2 would be very good. Drugs level 2 is the next thing we'll get, and then we'll buy nothing until we go lethal. So cold is absolutely no issue whatsoever, and level 1 drugs aren't. The problem is that in the UK they are very rich. The UK, Canada and the US are classed as the richest countries in this game. So, also Sweden and Norway are very high up. But in terms of, because wealth only dictates 2 things. 1, how much they can spend on cure research, and 2, how good their drugs are. So this little section here in the west is dreadful if you don't have level 2 drugs. Level 1 drug resistance is particularly good in the east, so that's why we got that straight away. We need level 2 cold because of Russia being so cold. There we go. So now we can get drug level 2, and then we'll be very conservative and buy almost nothing. So it'll give me a chance to talk about the game. I will be doing a review of the game a bit more in depth later on tomorrow maybe, so that'll be coming out. I've just got to say I'm absolutely in love with it. It's as good as the old version, there's nothing really lost, and I'm looking forward to actually playing the well, recording the new scenarios. There's also going to be a multiplayer option coming up. Oops, cysts have been mutated, so I'll instantly get rid of that, since that has actually increased our severity past the 0 mark, which is not a good thing. Okay. Yes, there's going to be a multiplayer version in the future, which is just phenomenal. Getting a lot of DNA as we spread, but that's what you think would happen. I may get heat level 1 resistance just because of I've been struggling a bit in places like Australia and South Africa. More infectious than the common cold, that's great. I think I'll get level 1 heat resistance, but then leave it as that. Oh, actually no I won't, that's too expensive. So sadly, we are going to have to leave it. The new mega fast forward option is brilliant though, as you can see. Okay, it's weird though because now we actually start off in 2014 rather than 2013, so I always think it's a bit... I always think the game's gone on a bit longer than it actually has. Okay, there we go. Yep, got a lot more DNA than I expected us to have, which is brilliant. So actually, I will go ahead and get level 1 heat resistance. Ta-da! I won't get level 2 though, because it's over 20 points, and that's a bit too expensive for me. We're in pretty much everywhere, I think. Let's have a look at the world. Airplanes use new air filters. Ooh, not what I wanted to see. We don't have any air. Do we have air? We don't, so we can't get into planes. However, how... I think we're in pretty much everywhere though, so yeah, let's have a look at the world. Hello world. We're in everywhere but Morocco does not actually have an airport anyway, so that's not too much of a concern. So we just have to wait to get into Morocco, and then as soon as Morocco is 50% infected, we'll go into lethal symptoms. I'm sorry I'm not really explaining the game very well, like what all the symptoms do, but I've done it so many times on the old version. So if you've never watched my stuff before, please go ahead and watch Plague Inc. 1. I've got about 30 videos on it now. So, yep, shameless self-promotion there. Once again, we've got cysts, which is not a good thing. At all, because it doesn't even help us spread. Well, it does slightly, but not much. We still need to get into Morocco. Oh, have we? It looks like we may have. Yeah, we're now in Morocco, so Morocco is definitely infected. Oh, got a bubble somewhere. Okay, we're very, very close to being lethal. We just need to completely infect Africa and Argentina, because they're both very, very warm, so our minor heat resistance isn't really doing much, which isn't great. Okay, let's see. Turkey's infected as well. The Balkan states are... The Baltic states I keep having issues with. I don't know why either, because it should really be infected faster than it does, but every time I play it at the moment, other than this one run, I've had major issues. Maybe I just have major issues in general. Okay, I'm actually going to go ahead and get heat level 2. Actually, no I won't, that's far too expensive. But I am going to get genetic hardening level 1. And what genetic hardening will do is cause them to cure us slower. It means we no longer breed in lab conditions, so we have to use actually humans as living petri dishes, which isn't the best thing in the world. Okay, West Africa is very quickly becoming infected now. Turkey is slowly getting there. Turkey has pretty much no stats, which is kind of interesting. We've just got anemia, which I may leave because... Actually, no, I won't, because it's free to cure. We want to get as many infected as possible before we start becoming lethal, because in Brutal, the cure rate is very, very quick. So we want to get it at the very last second. We're still waiting on Argentina. Halfway is about the point of when you can become lethal, because if you start killing people, having total organ failure and all these horrible symptoms, there's a real chance you'll kill everyone before you even get there, which isn't really the best thing. Killing people, great. Killing everyone you've infected and leaving people healthy, not so great. About halfway, it becomes so fast in the infection rate, it doesn't really matter too much. So we'll just wait for that to happen and have a look round. Greenland looks like a giant riling ball of evil right now, I've got to say, which is great. For those who've watched me previously, Greenland, I hate you so much. Argentina is, yep, that's definitely past the point of no return. So we'll be going into immune suppression, which causes a minor bit of lethality and increases our mutation rate. Then we're going to organ failure, and finally coma, which will cause us to be harder to cure and cause a bit of a lethality spike. Then we'll be going into systematic infection and going down this route into tumours. And then the next one we'll get is internal hemorrhaging, and finally hemorrhagic shock. So our little virus now, our little parasite has become very, very lethal, and soon we'll be seeing deaths appear. Iraq has started to work on a cure, and a new minor disease is spreading. Little do they know. Little do they know. First death in Morocco. We've just passed our 3rd million death. Per day we're killing about 3 million people, which isn't actually that much, amazingly. We need to get a lot higher than that before... for those who don't know, as soon as you start killing enough people per day, you'll actually be getting DNA. Oh god, we'll just really get that. We have just mutated paralysis for free, which is great. It makes it harder to cure and has a very small lethal boost. We need one more DNA and we can get internal hemorrhaging, which just gives us a big lethal boost so we can kill people a lot faster than we are currently. Global research is now focused on curing us, however, but we have killed more than smallpox, which is kind of a good thing. And we are getting DNA per day, so we've already got enough for internal hemorrhaging, and now we can save up for hemorrhagic shock, which has a massive lethal boost. So as soon as we get that, they are pretty much done for. We've also managed to get a lot of anti-cure stuff, so we're not being cured as quickly as we could be, which is good. A lot of the virus types, a lot of the disease types, is just a kind of waiting game, being patient, and then suddenly going absolutely demented and killing everyone in the world. East Africa is the first to fall to anarchy due to Lathrixia. No cure research can take place. Excellent. Also, we're getting DNA. We're getting 4 DNA per day. That's how lethal we are. This is probably the best run I've done in a while. Okay, so our lethality is almost at max. If we get any more DNA, we'll simply go into a few genetic reshuffles, which is simply us evolving to have new strains and thus being a lot harder to cure. So it actively destroys some of the cure research I've already done. So do that and it goes from 80, so from 20 down to 17. It's not much because it has more effect the further along they are. But we may as well do it because, well, there's nothing else for us to do really. We're about to win Sir and Sweats. It's going to be a very short first episode. I hope you've enjoyed and I hope you're looking forward to the new episodes and new gameplay of this like I really am. There we go. And we've got a new plague discovered, so we can now do the prion, and a new gene, which we'll see when we do it next. We got 4 out of 5. The only reason we didn't get the 5th is because we weren't on the very brutal. As you can see here, you can mega fast forward on this little option. I think this little bit here is awesome. It basically shows you what happened over the course of the game, and you can fast forward it to a stupid level where it's about, I think every 1 second is almost 10 days. So it shouldn't take longer than about 30 seconds to watch. So there goes India. So thank you for watching Sir and Sirettes. I will probably leave you to watch this. I might not, I might do. I hope you've all enjoyed the episode. If you haven't already, please give me a like and a subscription. It helps me more than you could possibly know. And I'll be seeing you with a lot more of these videos very soon. Thank you for watching and goodbye.